All right, Kierra, I have a quick question for you. All right, so this is just a hypothetical, okay? It's a hypothetical, but if you love someone, right, and they ended up having a baby on you,
Oh Lord.
would you still stay?
Um, it depends, in my opinion. I actually had this happen to me before back in high school. The man should remain nameless.
Okay.
Um, I think we in high school, so when it happened, I was just like, what the hell? What the
Mm.
fuck? But that's neither here nor there. Despite everything, I did not stay. And the reason why I did not stay was because even though I was with him for a year and a half, going on two, we're in high school. Let's start there. Like your future is already ruined. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a very, very understanding person, and I'm the type of person that I listen to all parties before I make a drastic decision. However, my family at the time, and kind of still is, they I was always a people pleaser. Like whatever
Mm.
my family wanted me to do, wanted me to say, I did. And I knew that this is not what they wanted for me. And if I would have stayed, I wouldn't hear the end of it. We were going to keep Judge. Hell, Jackie probably would have kicked me out the damn house if I stayed with that person.
Yeah.
So it was more of me looking out for my future. And as much as I did love him at that time, I had to let him go because I knew it wasn't for me at all. Now that I'm older and now that I'm an adult, I can honestly sit here and say it really depends. Like I know everybody watched Insecure. Lawrence had a baby. He wasn't with Issa when it happened, but he had a baby. Yeah. Now, unlike some niggas, everybody needs a Lawrence because Lawrence told her as soon as he found out. Yeah. But it was up to Issa on what she wanted to do with that situation. And yes, it did. Any typical woman, any sensitive woman, it hurt her. It took her a minute to think about it, and she knew she didn't want to do it. But as we saw when it got closer to the end, they ended up getting together anyway.
Spoiler alert.
So, so it's like I said, it just depends on the individual. I know some people would say, "Oh, no, I'm not doing that." This, that, or third. And some people would say it depends on the situation. But I can honestly sit here and say, if it was George and I would stay. So.
Okay. All right. So now for me. For the people that know me, I'm a pretty open person when it comes down to being with somebody. But one thing that I know that I cannot deal with already is cheating, right? So if someone cheated on me and then on top of that had a baby, I'm not mad at the kid at all. Like I'll never be mad at the kid because the kid didn't ask to be here or whatever. But I will be upset with the woman I'm with because it's like, all right, you lost my trust. And knowing me, like, I'm not gonna be able to give you that trust. Like no matter what you do, I'm not gonna be able to trust you because I'm always gonna think about that last situation that you did. That's just me. That just goes for anybody in my life. So it's like, I have friends that you done me wrong. Yeah, I'll forgive you, but I'm not gonna forget, and then we're not gonna be the same like we used to be. That's just me. So when it comes down to like a significant other that I've been faithful to, I've been bragging about to like my moms, my pops, the people around me, and then you do something like that, yeah, that's kind of like that's kind of dead to me. But I would say the only way I can live with that is if we had like let's say we had a break and we was gone. We wasn't talking to each other. We wasn't really with each other. Let's say it was like a good like 4 months or something like that, 4 or 5 months. I'm not expecting you to just be just living your life and then not doing anything. That's because I'm smart enough to know that people gonna probably just go on and do their own thing because you're on the break now. So if you happen to have a kid, then we get together. Then that's like okay. I mean, I may be able to still be with that person, because it's like all right, this you didn't cheat on me. That's the main thing. It's the cheating part that gets me. But if you didn't cheat on me and you're just like okay, that happened when we was not together, then it depends though. It depends on how much I really, really care for that person though, in that situation. But yeah, I think I'm gonna ask my brother that question. Devontae, what would you do in that situation, bro? He says another why.
Um, I see it as this. If we was like broken up and everything, I see what you mean. Yeah, but in my head, it's just like, was you always planning on coming back to me? You know?
Yeah.
And so, like, if you was, like, if I was planning on trying to get back with you in the future, then I wouldn't try to bring a baby in this world, you know, with somebody else. Like, because it just makes it seem like you're trying to create a life without me, you know, like you already preparing it, you know. So when you bring a baby into it and say, "Hey, I want you back," now it's not just me taking you back. I'm also taking a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You become a package now. Like, it's not like I can't say, "Okay, I'll take you back," but not take the baby. Like, because you're gonna expect me to take that baby too.
Right.
But I'm gonna look at it like that's not my child. And then, like, yeah, eventually I may come to love it as you know, as a natural person would if they taking care of a child. Like, you're gonna naturally gonna start to fall in love with that child. But at the same time, you're gonna have that thing in the back of your head that's saying that ain't your kid. No matter how much you love it, it ain't yours.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have to always think about she ran out, like she didn't run out on you, but it's just like, you know, that's another man. Like, whatever's inside that kid is not you. As much as you want it to be you, because you're the one taking care of that child, you're gonna always see that child and be like, it's not even me. Like, because you're gonna see somebody else. And then just like for women, like, if I went and had a child and it's, you know, she takes me back, and then she's still gonna have to take the child too, because the child's gonna be around me, and so in turn it's gonna be around you. And then every single time you see that child, you're gonna be like, I wanted to have a child with him. And but that child is a product of somebody else. So there's gonna be a lot of confliction between in that person, regardless of how you felt about him. You're just gonna be like looking at a child and you're just gonna be like, man, that's something that I wanted with them. And then but you didn't get it. And they said, so what makes them so special than me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I feel that. I feel that, you know, especially you saying like you seeing that other person inside that child. Like, yeah, I can understand that. It's like, you know, it's been numerous times where a man had a child and a woman, like Kierra, like you said, right? But you know, they also sometimes they might have that same thought process too. Like when they might see the kid, like they might try to make it work, and then they see the kid, and then after a while, it just
No,
like,
I do believe that every time you see the child, you're going to think about the cheating. Like that's where, not trying to talk down on the child, but that's where the child came from. You stepping out on the relationship,
yeah.
so it's easier said than done. But like everybody is different. Like every time you see that child, you're going to think about what he or she did. So
Yeah,
I agree with that.
yeah, I definitely agree with that as well. And now, George, I got a quick question for you too, man. It's the same. It's the same question. Same question. Like, what would you do in that situation?
All right, in that situation, I feel like it was already thought out. If you was planning to have a child, like you said, hypothetically speaking, um, it was already thought out. You thought this through. You already knew what you wanted to do before you wanted to execute it. You know, the matter. You knew what you was getting into from the start. So that's why I feel like that if you're going to do that, then why would you still together? Um, I agree with you. If you have a break and stuff like that, and then she she's wound up pregnant or whatever like that, stuff like that, it's understandable. That's a yes because y'all broken up. Y'all did your own thing. Y'all lived your life and stuff like that. You got back together. Unfortunately, she has a child. He has a child.
Yeah.
It happens. You just learn to grow from that situation. That's something that you just got to build up from. Uh, like you said, when you see that child, you look at it as a product of not you. But then eventually, as a child grows up and picks up parts of you from like the way you think, the way you carry yourself, it then becomes you. It might not be as genetically or DNA wise, but then the child needs someone to look up to, mother or father. Uh, so with that being said, yes and no. The child isn't you, but yes is because it becomes you. I think it hits women more harder because it's the fact that they didn't go through the process of having a birth, see you there with them as they're giving birth to your child. But in fact, you had another child before her and stuff like that. I think it hits them harder because they're more sensitive. For us men, it's like, yes, it hurts, but then it's like, it is what it is. Yeah. I'm still going to take care of him or her no matter what. I'm still going to have my guard up because it's like, you ain't mine. But then as the child grows, then it becomes you. So it builds up a whole nother bond.
Interesting. See,
I think for me though,
I'm sorry. I think for me, I think it's almost the opposite, in my opinion. I feel like women are, I think they're more likely to accept it if a man had a kid. And I feel like us guys, like
y'all
once we
accept it, let's be real.
yeah, I really, I'm gonna be honest. I really
Y'all-
feel like we probably be like,
y'all not gonna accept it.
like, nah. Yeah, because you know,
Depending on how old the child is.
I feel like I think for us it depends on situation. That's what I really feel like. It depends on the situation. For women, it's like they're gonna be hurt regardless. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And like, I feel they'd be hurt regardless, but they're more to the point they'd be more understanding and be like, okay, well, I love you. I'm gonna try to make this work, even if it doesn't work out. They're gonna at least try to make it work. Us, a lot of times, be like, oh no, you end up messing with that dude. Ah, no, I ain't even taking you back. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
you know
He not lying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying too. Like I don't have a problem with the child. That ain't gonna be, like you said, that child had no choice in this world or not. So I'm not gonna banish that child if no one's around and stuff. But I'm just saying the only problem that I would have is baby daddy type stuff. Like that relationship right there can be rocky.
Yeah,
especially when the baby daddy sees that woman went back to you, and then now he ain't with her no more. Then he gonna start causing problems because he mad because he ain't with her. And I can't be handling those type of situations because that gonna put a brother in jail.
Because he feeling like, all right, you take care of my kid, and I can only get a chance to see him or her.
Yeah, so now y'all fighting back and forth over the child. And it is never the child's fault for me. It's just what comes after that. Because that means I'm not just taking in her and child. I'm also taking in the baby daddy too. Because he gonna have to be right.
That's true. But I think it's only right that we at least call a woman right now because we only got it's 3 guys that's talking. We got 1 woman that's talking right now, and I feel like it's another one that we should have on as well. So shout out to my friend Bree. She was on the last episode. I think I'm gonna call her and see what she got to say.
Yo.
Yeah. Is this Bree?
What's that, folks?
Oh, what's happening? This is your boy Slxck the Don, host of the Weekday podcast. You're on a podcast right now, so do not incriminate yourself.
What's up?
Nothing much. You good, Bree?
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
I can't complain at all. All right. So, I'm with my sis Kierra right now, right? And I got her man George in here, and I got my brother Devontae in here, right? And we already talking on the podcast, and I was like, you know what? I need another woman on here to give me her thought process on this. So let's say if the person you loved had a child on you, would you stay? Breathe.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, but I couldn't hear you for a second.
Oh yeah, I was saying, if the person you that you loved had a child on you, would you stay?
Say it one more time.
If the person you loved had a child on you, would you stay?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, why you say that?
First of all, I'm a lesbian, so it's kind of confusing in that aspect because I can't go that way because it's a tollway. I don't know. I feel like I feel like if you had enough time, then cheat on me and then have a child, which means it was unprotected. So you're already putting my health at risk in some form or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the fact that you were careless enough to like literally have a child, because that means you weren't paying any attention, you weren't paying no mind. And so I don't know. I just feel like that's really careless. I feel like, and then now I'm trying to bring a child into a situation. I don't even want kids, so it's a hard no for me.
Got you. I feel like Kierra want to say something on that.
Well, no, I agree with her in her perspective, because I thought about that too, but I didn't even say anything about, the whole health thing, because you are putting somebody's health at risk. That's number one.
Yeah.
And then number two, like she said, she don't want kids. So, I mean, with that being said, that it's a hard no for her. Like I said, it just really depends. Like I said earlier, it depends on how long I've been with that person and the severity of the situation. If it was George, my man now, yes. Because like I said, we went through our ups and downs. We've done some things to each other that we shouldn't have done. So if it was him, yes. Anybody else, like my ex-fiance, hell no. Excuse my language, but hell no.
Yeah.
So, and then like I told you, from the guy in high school, it was a hard no for me, because I had to think about my future. Me and him haven't even had sex. I didn't even get deep into that. Me and him didn't even have sex at all. But not only did it with someone else because you couldn't respect me as your girlfriend and appreciate the fact that I wanted to wait, you went and got it from someone else, and a baby got it, and you expect for me to stay. Hell no.
Yeah, and then you're thinking about it too. It's like if you're taking this person back, that means now you also have to deal with baby mama drama or baby daddy drama.
True.
And I'm getting asked for.
Right.
So there's just too much involved in it. Cheating is one thing, but bringing something into the situation that's going to remind you continuously that the person cheated on you is a hard no for me.
Yeah, and that was basically what I was saying too. For me, it was the fact of the cheating, because anyone that knows me knows that that's like literally my deal breaker in everything is cheating, because I will lose my trust in you, and I'm not, you're not going to get that trust from me again, so that's why I said no. But that's if we had a break and then it happened, my mindset might be different then, depending on how much I care for that person, though. Like how much I care for that woman. If, we was together for a good minute, and I really loved her, and then that happened, I don't know. I don't know how I would feel in that situation, though. Because I could feel the same way and be like, no, I'm good, because the phone dropped. Dang.
It sounded like she was in a bad area.
Yeah, it kept going out.
Yeah.
But yeah, she'll probably have to get on later, though. But yeah, I mean, like, now that I start thinking to myself, like, I don't know how I really would feel in a situation where, I'm like, let's say we had a break and everything, and I really love this woman, and she had a kid. Like, I don't know how I would truly feel in that situation. Like,
so let me stop you right there. Sorry. So it depends. What is your definition of a break? Because everybody's definition of a break is different.
I think my definition of a break is to the point where we really just stopped being together. Like, we probably wasn't even conversing like that.
Right.
We both doing our own thing, or whatever. Right. And it just so happened that, something in us said, you know what, we really want to work this and start over again. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I consider a break. I don't consider that whole like, oh, we stop and talking to each other, but we can't talk to nobody else. Like, that's weird. In my opinion, I'm sorry to anybody that does that, but that's just my opinion on that stuff like that. I don't think that's like I don't know why, because what's the point of that? Because I always think to myself, because the OG once told me this: if you give your significant other a break, the longer that y'all are away from each other, the more they're used to not being around you, which causes y'all to father leave from one another, and y'all gonna be doing your own thing anyway.
You're right, but what if you wanted to take a break to like get yourself and that person together? Because some people jump into relationships and not mentally and spiritually ready to be there. So say for instance, you get with someone, you've been with them for a while, but then like, they're saying like you get her, but then once you got her, you stop doing the things you did to keep her. So what if he started actually like stop doing the things And maybe it's some internal issues within you or that person that they don't want to tell you, of course, because maybe of trust or they're just scared. So what if it's not taking a break because you want to cheat? What if you just want to take a break so you can mentally get yourself together as an individual so you can proceed to grow with your significant other?
No, I mean that's different. And it's like, okay, I feel you on that. But at the same time, if that was what we basically agreed upon, and then you went out and talked to somebody else,
I agree with you on that.
I was like,
that's why I said, what's your definition of a break? Because I'm gonna throw us something.
Yeah.
George and I, it was once upon a time in our life, all we did was argue. So I initiated the break. He made a statement, and it sticks with me now. If we take a break, I know you're not coming back. As much as I wanted to convince him that wasn't necessarily true, I just thought that we needed a break because, let's be real, we did get together way too fast. We didn't get to know each other as much as we wanted to. So there was a time in our relationship where there was some shit going on. So I thought the break was a good idea so we can like get right individually. So when we came back together, we could be stronger and better. Did we ever take the break? No. But
yeah.
with that being said, I know that it's a fear, especially in men, because once you lose that woman, she ain't coming back. But I'm a different type of woman.
Yeah.
I like to have conversations first. I like to between us, okay, let's talk. I'm the first one to say, George, I think we need to talk. So if you have that conversation, then yes, I feel like a break will work. But if you got a break and then you went and cheated, well, man, it's not necessarily cheating because y'all on a break. But if you had that conversation, but then you still decided to step out, it's kind of hard because you're not technically stepping out because y'all on a break. Then you really didn't want to break in the first place. You just wanted to be done.
True. And I mean, I probably would have said the same thing George said too. Cause like I said, my OG was like, listen, when you take a break, they start leaving farther and farther away. Before you know it, y'all ain't together. So I understand him when he was like, hey, if we take this break, you're not going to want to come back.
I personally don't believe in breaks. Like, that's just me. Because I look at it as people just trying to take the up out of breakup.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's how I see it. It's just we're broken up. And I feel that in a marriage, I feel that you can't take a break.
Oh no! Once we married, we already said it's a wrap.
But I date with a purpose, so I be treating it like we are married. So I'm just like, we can't take no break. We gonna have to figure this out one way or the other. When we take a break, that's basically me quitting on you.
But what if one person is trying and the other one is not? Then what?
Then break up. Call it a breakup. You know what I mean? Because it's no.
But what if you want to? But what if you trying to fight for that person? You know, you really trying to fight for this person.
But if they're not fighting for you, then what's the purpose of fighting for them?
That's true.
It's even. So why would you even take a break and hope that person will decide to fight for you later?
You're right.
There's no guarantee. So I'm just I'll just break up with you, and then if you decide that you want to fight for me, then come for me. But whatever happens, happens. I wouldn't call it a break.
I would say this though, to tie it back in with the kid and everything. It also depends on who initiated the break, because if my significant other initiated the break and then they ended up having a kid, my mindset already.
Oh hell no!
I'm thinking that's what you want to do.
Like what I said earlier, it's you had intentions of doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm also a person that when someone says they want to discover more about themselves, learn more about themselves, or fix themselves, I still feel like it's still possible doing it with me. Still be with me and still able to find things about yourself. You know what I mean? Because isn't that the whole purpose of being in some relationships and stuff? You start finding out things about yourself.
No, I do agree. I agree with you.
And then I also feel it also reveals me, and that's how y'all get closer together because y'all start learning about each other together. But when you're away, it's just you're just gonna continue to do the same things that you did, and then you're just gonna eventually get tired of doing the same things that you did, and then you're gonna be I am a new person.
But what would you do if they won't let you in? Like you said, you trying, you want them to grow, but you keep trying, but they still got that brick wall and don't want to let you in.
I say that's a breakup because really, when you take a break, and some people call it a break, nobody never communicates and discuss on what the break is. It's a breakup because if you don't discuss it, then it's not really a break. But I can see, hey, you not really a break, but just saying like, hey, let's take a couple steps back. You know what I mean?
What
You
that
can do
mean?
that. Like as far as like, say I'm with someone, and the next thing you know, you realize that you're moving too fast.
Oh, okay.
Say like, hey, I think we're moving too fast. You know, we got into this relationship too quick. I'm not saying I don't want to be with you, but I think we should take a few steps back on this. So then you start backtracking. All right, let's not say we boyfriend and girlfriend, but we still talking and dating.
Oh, okay.
You can backtrack that and start from there. Not say I want to break and then leave you, and then say we can come back at a different date. Like that's where I didn't see it fit, because I'm just like, well, why can't we just say, hey, let's set some boundaries now, since we realize that some things ain't going our way. Like it's not going right. We went too fast, so let's make some boundaries to where we're not moving fast.
And plus, folks be shiesty. I'm real. Like, let's keep it a whole stack. Let's keep it a whole stack, man. Like, let's say for example, you have a healthy relationship, and y'all decide y'all want to take a break. But there's outsiders that always wanted that man or always wanted that woman, and once y'all take that break, they are.
Oh, now you want to say something.
They own it.
Now
They
you
own
want to
it.
say something. Now you want to say something. Over here, co-sign.
I see that too, because like you do let that man go, and then you know, then sometimes it be your best friend. Like you know, your best friend.
Like for example, like that's why I said I can understand why George said what he said, because let's say for example, y'all had that break,
I
right?
feel like y'all ganging up on me, but I'm.
Oh well, no. I'm gonna be on your side in the future. I'm gonna be on your side in the future. But let's say for example, it was a dude that's always been eyeing you. George probably already knew it already, right? He already probably been
This is
picking.
deja vu.
Okay, so this is deja vu. But let's say, yeah, he already been peeping this dude already. He already knew, like, this dude already is preying on my downfall.
In other words, I don't like this nigga.
Yeah, like, and then as soon as y'all take that break, that man is he not giving you no time and everything. He like one of them.
Trying to get you on the rebound.
He one of them free agents that's trying to get signed right now because you know this is the last day. Like that's him. Like
you just want 1 year contract.
Yeah. No. That's treated like basketball. He on a 10-day contract.
10 games.
Yeah. So it's like, so that's how it is. But then at the same time, in the midst of you got a dude that's coming your way, you probably noticed it was a woman that was trying to look at him. And then yesterday they had a whole break. And then here goes that woman trying to do all this other stuff. He probably like, I'm good or whatever. But she over like, oh, you know, you good. You know, you want to talk. Bro, listen, bro. I'm trying to tell you, people be shiesty sometimes. That's all I'm saying.
I just personally feel that if you can't fix it in the relationship, then I feel like it won't be fixed outside the relationship.
Right.
So like y'all can't do it together, then what's the whole purpose of even trying to come back?
That's true.
Because because then I look at it like, okay, when another problem happens, what you gonna do? Take another break?
Exactly.
Like it's just gonna keep happening. Like because you're always gonna find something about that significant other that you don't like. It's just always going to happen. So like if you always saying, I hate when they do this, I think I need to take a break.
Nice.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It wasn't like that.
But then, I think I need to take a break because you're really pissing me off right now.
Yeah.
And then they pissed you off for about 3 days straight, and you said I can't take it, so I want to take a break. They say bet. Y'all take a break, take a few days. Next you know, I miss you. I miss you too because I hadn't seen you for a week.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they do that same thing. I feel like each side you take bits and pieces from it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just never grasped the concept of taking a break because it's just like I feel like you're doing it as a response to something that someone did.
I mean, but I can understand why some people would, because sometimes that taking a break basically means just like basically, you know, I need my space. I just need to figure, like Kierra said just earlier, they basically trying to figure themselves out and stuff like that. So it's like I can understand it, but I also can understand why someone wouldn't want to go for that. But I also can I understand someone that would want to go for
Well, mine was more because of a mental thing.
Yeah.
Like I have anxiety and I used to suffer from depression and suicide. So it was more like, you know, I was already dealing with things that I was going through and then trying to like, hold him up. It was mentally like draining me. So that's the reason why I brought up the break. And at the time, I felt like I wasn't getting like no support and no help from him because, he was dealing with, a death of a family member, and it was hard for him to like, grieve it. And it's like, I'm trying to be their loving, supporting girlfriend. I'm trying to be there for him and also hold my shit up. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
this is what I mean about the step back thing. Like in that situation, then you be like, well, let's not have that title anymore, so we won't feel obligated, right? But y'all still talking. You know what I mean? Y'all still talking every day.
Oh, we live together. We ain't got no choice.
I'm just saying, as far as like in that situation, like if y'all wasn't living together and stuff, you don't really necessarily have to take a break, but you can take a few steps back and be like, hey, like I got this going on. I know you got this going on. And you be like, okay, I understand. Let's just take away the title. We go back to dating. Go back to doing our own separate things.
See,
but like I'm not saying like go do your separate thing as
no, and I agree with you, but I feel like that with sorry to cut you off, but when you take away that title, say if a bitch asks George, you got a girlfriend? No, I would kill his ass. Same with me. If I say I ain't got a boyfriend, he will kill me.
So now you get the gist of that. Get the title, but then don't. Make it seem like it's like you're
obligated, right? I got you.
You see what I mean? Like, because the only reason people feel overwhelmed is because they got the title of boyfriend or girlfriend, and they feel obligated that they have to do.
I understand. Like I said, like I told you, I wasn't gonna be seeming like I'm ganging up on you. I'm doing your side at some point. Okay, so like I think really at the end of the day too, it always just depends on the relationships too, because what you believe and how you feel might not work for somebody else. It's the same way like very first episode of my entire podcast, we talked about polygamy, right? And I said, for some people, like maybe that's like for them, that probably will work for them. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe let's say, for example, you have like a, I mean, John, I'm just saying.
We both looking at each other like that.
Listen. Wait, quick rebuttal.
No. I got clear. You can't just stop me off of that. Okay, so. Yes, of course, I believe in monogamy, all that stuff. But I'm just saying, like, there's some people that got swingers out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they do their own thing. To us, we be like, no, I wouldn't do that. But to them, that's what makes them work. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way with like the break thing.
I'm over here.
I know I went all the way to the left, but I'm
because it's like I looked at him because like we literally had this conversation. So getting deeper into my life, I am bisexual. So with my ex-fiance, we used to like, have threesomes and stuff. I tried that. The girl made me choose between her and my ex-fiance, and I was just like, so I talked to George about it. He was like, how would you feel about having a third? I said, I got an attitude. That bitch got an attitude. She probably I had my own experience. And you're right. I have seen, we all on social media, I have seen people that it works for them, and I just be looking like, how? Coming from somebody that actually dealt with it, like how? Like that shit right there it's for the birds, in my opinion. Unless it's like based on income, because I know a lot of guys do it because of the income, because all the girls got money and stuff like that, and then it's really girls that don't care about it being not just them, and not just be like, damn, like
I feel that
generation is very interesting.
If you were to that whole situation, why things work like that, because 9 times out of 10 they communicate.
Yeah, you're right. Like that's number one.
Because like if you took a break and like the break works for you, 9 times out of 10 they communicated. It wasn't just like I want a break and then okay, and then they left.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because usually that's when a break don't work.
Sure.
But like even then, but that's how I see how breaks shouldn't even happen. If you was able to communicate a break, you should be able to communicate the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I'm still saying that breaks shouldn't even exist. Like you either gonna break up or you gonna stay together and make it work.
I'm gonna give all y'all a gunshot on that, man. For everything y'all said, and we did a lot of talking, and I forgot that I was really supposed to have another caller on, but like I was gonna call somebody else. We've been on this for a good minute, so let's go on and let's see who I was gonna call. I think I'm gonna call one of our frat brothers. I think I'm gonna call Darius. Darius was on episode 6 of this season. Yeah, he's on episode 6. So, make sure y'all check that episode out too. I'm gonna call him right now and see what he got to say. And also, before I do call him, shout out to Bree for coming on. I know the phone call had dropped and everything, but shout out to her and shout out to her for being on episode 10. Make sure y'all check that one out as well. And now I'm going to call Darius.
Your call has been
forwarded.
Dang. Hold on. Hello? Hello? Why is everybody's phone the other day? You got cricket?
Don't disrespect that man like that.
Darius, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You breaking up right now. What's good, bro?
What's good?
There we go. This your boy Slxck the Don, host of Glorious Weekday podcast, also known as People's Podcast. You're on the podcast right now, so do not incriminate yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Darius?
Man, I'm good, bro. Can't complain.
That's good. I'm with our sir right now. I'm with Kierra right now. You know what I'm saying? I got her man George up in here, and I got Devontae up in here too, right? And we over here talking and stuff. We did a lot of talking. When I say a lot of time, I mean a lot of talking. And the main question was this. I was like, I'm gonna ask Darius this question. So let's say, you're in a happy and healthy relationship, you know what I'm saying? And this is just a hypothetical, all right? So let's just say if the person you love had a child on you, would you stay?
Oh no.
Why you say that?
But personally, I want to be rude. How y'all doing? What's up, family?
Hey, how you doing?
But hell no, because me in particular, if it's my girl, first and foremost, she gonna love me before we even together.
Mm-hmm.
So one, she already don't love me no more. They're gonna have a child with this nigga. Then the whole process that goes into that, from communication, from going to see him, from them fucking on the regular for him to even start fucking raw, to she even trusting him to bust in her. It's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah.
Plus, back. So that's just, can't do it.
Yeah, it sounds like a recurring thing. Before Bree's phone cut off, she kind of said the same thing. Well, her main thing was too, she's a lesbian, so if her shawty went and got pregnant, it would be very confusing for her. But, I mean, for us, I'm gonna let Kierra say what she got to say first.
I did say that it depends. I guess because now that I'm an adult, back then I was like, fuck no, hell no. Mm-hmm. My ex-boyfriend back in high school, I left him. My current boyfriend now, I said 9 times out of 10 I would stay because that's just how much I love him. But I do agree. I also agree with all of y'all because like he said and like Bree said, first you put my health at risk because you're letting someone go in raw on you. You don't know what this person got, and you let this person bust at you. So it's that's a whole other thing. And then Darius to the point, you don't love me no more. I ain't even think about that the whole time we've been on here. So you love me enough to you don't love me enough to tell this nigga or tell this girl no. Yeah. So now it's a respect thing. So he kind of got me thinking now. Yeah, George, you gotta go.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's the thing too. I really feel as though if we in a relationship, if it got to that, first of all, we should be able to communicate. But if it got to that bad, to where you just had to go off and do this, without me knowing, but we couldn't have no type of conversation in case of a problem we was having, we might as well just been broken up before this even happened.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is a recurring theme that everybody's gonna say no, because I said no as well. But mine was more the trust thing, because there's I've said this numerous times before. If a woman cheats on me, I'm done, bro. It's no turning back for me, because once you lose my trust, you don't never get my trust back. Even if I try to trust you again, that whole scenario keeps popping up in my head all the time of what happened, and I'm just nah, it can't. Now,
still want to come back from.
Yes, exactly. And then now you added more to it once you said, "Oh, she let this man bust in her." This like, dang, that happened. And then on top of that, unprotected sex, and then this is like, just being very, very, very disrespectful. And this is like, I can't do that, man. Like, I can't do it. Now, there's another thing I asked too. Let's say y'all was on a break, right? And in the midst of that break, she later on had a child. Now, what would you do in that situation?
That depends. That very much depends. No, honestly, truthfully, I would. I'll say it this way. I would understand if some people went back, but me, I couldn't go back even if I wanted to, simply because of what you just said.
Mm.
Just having to deal with all that and live with that, knowing it's gonna bother me, and knowing I'm gonna still have this hate for what she did, and I'm gonna have to see this nigga because she's having his child. So I'm just gonna. It's just too much. It's gonna be too much personally.
Yeah, I feel that. Like,
Yeah,
I know for me, I was saying the same thing. It depends, but it also just depends on how much I love that person. Like, if that woman, I really, really loved her, I probably would. But then I was like, I really gotta be truthful with myself. Like, I've been going back and forth on this one. Like, if I gotta really be truthful with myself, like, I don't know, because then I'm thinking to myself like, dang, like someone else had you feeling the way that I make you feel, and you decided to do this. And let's say if we was only on the break for like 2 months or something.
Now you're getting deep with it.
Yeah, I am. I'm getting deep with it because I'm an overthinker. And I just think about a lot of different things whenever it happens. And then I'm just like, bro, like what? And then it depends on if she's the one that initiated the break. That's another thing. And then it also depends on who is the baby's father. Like if it's somebody that's been around that you told me not to worry about.
Yeah, knowing me, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, or was it just some? And then even then, if you're like, oh no, it's just some dude I just met. Oh, it's a dude you just met. So now it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm all over the place with it. So it's like
there is no right answer for that. There is no right answer.
Exactly.
Always be a wrong answer.
Exactly, and it's like, because I know how I am. My mindset too. Like if I did that, I'm not expecting that woman to take me back. Like, I'm gonna be realistic with myself. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna be the one that's like, nah, baby, come on, take me back. Nah, that's not me. I already know. Like, at the end of the day, what I did, I know what I did. It was shiesty. It was bad. Like, But I mean, if I cheated, that is. Now, if
something like, so you're not gonna fight for me?
like, you ain't gonna fight. No, when people say you ain't gonna fight for me, I just be like, like my brother said that earlier too about the whole like, are you gonna fight for me? It's like, oh, baby, this go both ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta put it in 50-50.
No, I agree, because when I did what I did, I didn't expect George to stay with me. I told him like, you can leave if you want to, but he wanted to stay, and we just worked it out. So
give a gunshot to George. Sure. But yeah. That was my mindset on that though, and I was just like, we went back and forth from this whole like break thing too though. But the biggest thing though is the biggest thing really is who initiated it though. Because that person that got pregnant initiated it, I'm gonna really be thinking about that whole situation.
Plotting this whole time.
Yeah,
you been plotting this whole time. Then I'm gonna start thinking to myself, dang, now I look like a goofy.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about the dying now.
It's gonna feel so much worse because even if you come back, you already know. Like, most women have a good friend group, or at least one to a few best friends. They gonna know everything.
Yep.
You gonna look them in their face. Both of y'all know what y'all know, and he's just gonna hit you every time.
That's true. But yeah, Darius, that's all I have for you. You want to shine anything out before you go?
Shout out Black History Month.
Yes.
Okay, yes, sir. You want to shout out in your socials too?
Follow me on Instagram, King_Ginty, KING_GINTY. Twitter is Dex DDX_no_lab, and that's it.
Bad. And guys, make sure y'all check out episode 6 of this season. Darius was my guest on that time. I already shouted him out earlier. Not for good reasons though, because you hurt me on the song association though. If y'all want to check out how he did on that, just go on watch it though. But nah, bro, I'm gonna talk to you later. All right.
All right, bro. Y'all be listening.
All right. You too. All right. Okay, that was cool. That was cool. All right. So basically, guys, at the end of the day, all of us said no. Nobody said yes. We had how many people? We had 6 people. Yeah, 6 people that said no. Yeah, I mean, I thought I'll find somebody that's gonna say yes, but I guess not. But yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for this one. And we're gonna go to the next segment, one of the funnier segments, which is Tell Me Why.